Oh, it's a beautiful day outside, folks. Wow. Wow, just look at it outside. It's so beautiful. A nice fall day. Boy, I hope nothing ruins my mood today. Let's recap. The Browns versus the Steelers. Wow, I tell you, it really is beautiful out there today. I tell you what, very beautiful. You know what? Actually, let's just admire the view for a couple seconds here. Yes, very good. Very good. So, the Cleveland Browns coming off of a loss in London. If you don't remember last week, I did a live stream for the game, live reacted to it on my Twitch channel, and then I uploaded the whole VOD to the YouTube channel here. So, if you're wondering where I was, that's where I was. And I really didn't feel like doing a whole nother video after that because it was a pretty painful loss last week. And I even had this hat picked out for it as well. I was going to wear the hat and have a Cockney accent, but I decided I just didn't feel like it, It was one of those losses that really tear you apart. As for this game, I was certainly torn apart, I'll tell you that much. The other thing too, going into this game, I kind of figured we were going to be a bit sloppy, a bit uneven. Because we just got back from London. They didn't even give us a bye week after the London game, which is like usually what happens. I believe there's only one other team throughout the history of the NFL doing London games that did not get a bye week after being in London, and that team also lost. So, I don't know, maybe you should give the teams that go international a bye week after they've gone international. Because, it does take a couple days to get readjusted to the time zones, etc., etc. But I'm not going to blame this loss entirely on the London experience, coming off of a London game. But I will blame this loss, once again, just like last week, on Kevin Stefanski. Because, let's be honest, his decision-making has been in the gutter. Let's go ahead and talk about what happened during this game. I don't know, should I keep the hat on? I feel a little bit better with that on. Now, I will say the defense did hold pretty strong throughout the first half of the game, not even just the first quarter, but the first half. The Steelers got a couple field goals here with Boswell, and the Boz man was doing his thing. He hit it from like a 40-ish, like 48 or something like that. Then he also hit a 52-yard field goal. Good for me because I have him in my fantasy league. And, getting stops on third down is good no matter what. And Boswell, he's like good from like 60 yards out, so there's really no way to really stop them from getting those field goals. But, the good thing was that, we were stopping them. That was the main thing right there. Even though they got a couple good plays here and there, we were able to stop them in the first half of this game. Jerry Jeudy also got his one catch of the game, although he would later on really disappoint me, but he did get one catch this game for, I don't know, like 10 yards or something like that. Good work, Judy. But then right after that, he would get a penalty, which just set us right back. So, thanks, Judy. And then the trilogy concludes with, on third down, Judy dropping a perfect ball to him. And really, Gabriel was all right throughout this game. I mean, the offense wasn't really moving at all most of the time. But I don't think Gabriel was the big problem here, even though he had a couple of bad throws. He also was throwing a lot of hospital balls today. It's why David Njoku went out with the injury. It's rookie mistakes here. And I'm not going to blame Gabriel on these rookie mistakes because this is his second NFL game that he's played in. I think it's like his fourth game overall in the NFL that he's played, plus preseason. So yeah, I don't really blame Gabriel for this, but I think that Stefanski really needed to draw up some better plays for a rookie quarterback. I mean, look, I get it. Stefanski wants to throw that ball, but when you have a good running back like Judkins, and I know he was getting stuffed at the line, and Ford was getting stuffed too, so it's not like it was just a Judkins problem. But eventually the Steelers' defense is going to lighten up their run defense, and we'll be able to get some runs in there. But it seemed like this entire game, Stefanski just didn't remember that you could run the ball. And our special teams didn't really look that great either. Like, even though Schmitty got a field goal towards the end of the first half, we really were looking pretty bad on those punt returns and stuff like that. At one point, we got a bit of a saving flag there for us that saved a very big punt return, but you're not going to get those every single time. At one point, we had a pretty nice pass to, I think it was Fannin or Bond. I can't remember who it was. and he was getting forward progress and forward momentum. He had actually twisted around and gotten away from the defender, but they had whistled him down because apparently his forward progress was stopped. And it would have been a touchdown there. It really would have been a touchdown. We got kind of screwed on that one. Kind of felt a bit rigged at that point. So, at that point I was like, well, that was our chance right there. Like, this was the best drive that we were having. That was our chance right there to get a touchdown. But wow, it is really beautiful out there today. It is really nice out there today. Watt was having a good game today too. He seemed kind of unstoppable. I believe he had like 6 sacks at the end of the day, or the Steelers in general had 6 sacks at the end of the day. He definitely played better than Garrett in this game, who I believe only had like 1 tackle throughout the entire game. They really had Garrett double teamed here. So the Steelers defense was really strong in this game. They really didn't let anything slide. At one point, Aaron Rodgers, who was being pursued by a couple linemen, he kind of like pitches the ball forward while falling down for a first down. I believe it was on 3rd down. So, Warren is back there, and he like catches the ball and does like a somersault type thing. It was a very nice play, I will say, for the Steelers there. And at the end of that drive, the Steelers would get a field goal. So by the time half came around, it was only like 9-3, which is like, I say that's pretty manageable. Only down by 6 points, come out in the next half, 3rd quarter, and get a touchdown. We're right back in it. And there was a chance for us to get a huge play before the end of the half. There was a big pass to Jerry Jeudy. But of course, it's the Browns, so, we get some yellow laundry on the field that negated the giant pass that probably would have gone for, or at least had us in the end zone by the end of the drive. Illegal formation. We're messing up the basics, as the Browns do. So yeah, we go into halftime, we come back out, and it just felt like there was just a flag on every single play at that point. The referees needed to get their paychecks this week. And after a blocked pass by TJ Watt, we punted the ball away. So my hopes of a touchdown with coming into the next half here were totally gone. And the defense would be pretty stout for that next drive, but of course it's the Browns. So what do? We go ahead and get a running into the kicker penalty. Yes, even though our player was being forced into the kicker because the Steelers player was kind of moving him that direction, they ended up getting a first down there, which of course led to Metcalf being wide open down the field. And eventually Hayward on the Steelers, we get the first touchdown of the game. Later on, Gabriel was throwing some pretty good balls, but Fannin dropped a ball, and Njoku dropped a ball. I mean, Gabriel could not be playing any better during that drive. The balls were in perfect places, and oh my gosh, it is absolutely beautiful outside, folks. I just gotta say that again. At the end of the drive, though, Schmitty did get a 53-yard field goal. I'm glad that we finally got someone who can kick the ball. I know the first game by Schmitty was pretty bad. He obviously lost us that game against the Bengals, but he has had a bit of a redemption tour, for me at least. So Schmitty, gets us at least a little bit back into the game, giving us an extra 3 points there. Wouldn't take too long for things to kind of get back on track for the Steelers after a couple defensive stops, and Metcalf would be open in the end zone for a touchdown. Pretty much after that, it was kind of go time for the Browns here, going for it on every single 4th down that we could. We did get a couple of them, which is like, hey, silver linings. And what do you know? One of those 4th downs was a run by Judkins, who seemed to be kind of invisible in this entire game, throughout this entire game. Gabriel would then whiff on an open receiver in the end zone. Then we would get a delay of game. I don't know why we took this delay of game. I feel like Stefanski should have called a timeout there. And on 2nd down, Gabriel would throw a fast ball right to Bond. It would knock him right in the helmet. He was then put into concussion protocol. At this point, a comedy of errors are ensuing. So on 1st down at the goal line, I think we needed like 3 or 4 yards. We don't hand the ball off to Judkins. Actually, I don't even think Judkins was on the field. I think it was Ford. Then we get the pass to Bond that knocks off of his helmet. And then on 3rd down, there's just a giant sack on Gabriel, putting us out of just trying for it on 4th down. So we get another field goal, which puts us up to 9 points, which, once again, I mean, not really manageable at this point. We're definitely going to lose this game, but a little lipstick on the pig never did anyone wrong. But yes, a field goal was not good enough. Definitely not good enough. And after a 3-and-out by the Steelers, maybe we would have a chance to go down the field and get a touchdown in this game. And the most bizarre thing ever, Stefanski decides to call a run play on first down. Where was that when we were first and goal, buddy? And then Gabriel would get sacked twice in a row. We would be forced to go for it on fourth down. Of course, we wouldn't get that. And thank God we got all 3 of our timeouts saved, because at this point we really need them. There's still like 4 minutes left in the game, and we're calling timeouts like we'll be able to win this one. Oh my gosh, it is absolutely stunning outside today, folks. The crazy thing, though, is that Boswell would miss a field goal. So, I guess the score looks a little bit better because he didn't have to tack on those extra 3 points there. But at the end of the day, after so many injuries and after such a hard-fought football game, we ended up losing 23-9. It really felt like at the end of the game, especially when we went for a field goal on fourth down, it just really felt like Stefanski was like playing to lose at that point. And when you're calling these like throwing plays when we're first and goal, it just really makes me angry. We definitely could have had at least 2 touchdowns in this game. One of them was called back because of a ref blowing a whistle too early. The other one, though, was because we just didn't decide to run the ball on first and goal, first and 3 yards. I just really don't understand the decision making there. And then the add on top of that, the delay of game that we took earlier in this game really could have helped out to have a shorter, a more manageable third down. But no, there's no clock awareness out there at all, not by our coaching staff or by anyone on the field. And when the basics are being ignored, especially after our defense has been playing so well, it just really hurts when you lose games like this in such a fashion. Like, honestly, it's just one of those things where it's like, damn, we had so many chances. Once again, almost every single game, we have so many chances to go down the field and make this game look better, get a touchdown. And whether it be with Flacco or with Dylan Gabriel, it just cannot get done right now. And once again, I'm not blaming Gabriel for this loss. Once again, it's just like last week with the Vikings game. That was his first game ever playing in on a big stage in London. I can't blame him for that loss. That was definitely on Stefanski there, not drawing up a good enough plays for him. And once again, with this game as well, I'm not really blaming Gabriel for the loss. I'm more so blaming Stefanski once again. He is not drawing up plays that are good for a rookie quarterback. He's trying to have bombastic passes down the field. He's not utilizing the run game to give him some slack. Our offensive line was trash in this game. They couldn't stop anything. It was like a wet paper bag. And he just goes out there to get creamed over and over and over again by this really strong Steelers defense. Oh, yeah, and I also forgot to mention, we traded Flacco to the Bengals, so we don't even have a veteran quarterback in the building. Oh, what about Bailey Zappi? Yeah, what about him? And you might be thinking, well, why don't they put Shadur Sanders in? Look, I may be a Shadur fan as well, but no one's going to play well behind this offensive line. So next week we go to face the Dolphins, which at this point is looking like they're going to probably cream us, because even though they haven't gotten a win in quite a while, their offense at least moves the ball. We'll see what happens. I'll keep my positivity helmet on, which is, I'll keep my positivity hat on today, okay? But really, though, I should be giving this game the thumbs down, because we just really sucked in this game, and I don't feel like the Browns are going to do anything against the Dolphins. We got our one win for the year, and it was a nice win against the Packers, and maybe something will come together, but I can foresee us giving the Jets their first win this year. We're definitely not going to have anything to go against the Patriots, or heck, at this point, the 49ers, no way. The Ravens, with how they're playing right now, maybe we could get a win off of that. Maybe the Raiders, possibly the Titans. But once again, these offenses can actually move. Even though the Ravens lost again this week by a lot of points, not trying to call them out or anything like that, but their offense was still getting the ball down the field into those positions to possibly get some scoring happening. And the Browns we really had a struggle to get past the 50-yard line, especially in the first half of this game. So next week we'll see what happens, but I am going to go ahead and predict a Dolphins win. Boy, did I pick a weird year to start doing Browns recaps, huh? This one is really hurting. But boy, howdy, isn't it so beautiful out there? It's just wow. It is just so beautiful out there, folks.